Valentine's Day is coming, and Tubi has a perfect treat for YA rom-com fans. Kissing is the easy part. Starring Asher Angel as Sean and Berelc as Flora, this 2026 Tubi original takes the classic high school romance and gives it a modern, fresh spin. But this isn't just another teen love story. It's funny, heartfelt, and surprisingly real. Let's start with our leads. Sean is the ultimate overachiever. Straight-A's student, member of the physics club, disciplined and laser-focused on getting into MIT. His life is structured, predictable, and carefully planned, but there's one thing missing: excitement. Enter Flora, the wild card. Smart, witty, confident, and stunning. She commands attention wherever she goes. Even the school's mean girls know better than to mess with her. On paper, Sean and Flora could not be more different. He's methodical, she's spontaneous. He lives by rules, she bends them. But as we all know, opposites attract. The story really kicks off when Flora's parents come to Sean with an unusual proposition: tutor Flora in exchange for a college recommendation letter. Sean hesitates. After all, tutoring the school's rebel queen is far outside his comfort zone, but the offer is too tempting to refuse. And that's where the magic starts. What begins as a purely transactional arrangement slowly turns into something more complicated as Sean and Flora spend time together. At first, their interactions are awkward. Sean is rigid, serious, and prone to embarrassing himself, while Flora is bold, confident, and full of life. But as tutoring sessions continue, Sean begins to see Flora in a new light. She's not just a pretty face or a rebellious student. She's intelligent, insightful, and challenges him to think differently about life. Flora, in turn, starts to recognize her own potential. She's been written off by classmates and teachers as someone coasting on charm, but Sean's presence encourages her to step into her intellect and emotional depth. Together, they push each other to grow, and sparks naturally begin to fly. This is where the film shines. It's not just about romance. It's about self-discovery, trust, and learning to step outside your comfort zone. The movie is also full of humor. From awkward study sessions to playful teasing, it balances heart with laughs. There's even a running gag about Sean trying to stay disciplined before a shirtless scene while resisting Canadian beaver tails, a treat he jokingly calls better than a churro. Angel and Berelc's natural chemistry makes these moments feel effortless, both on-screen and off. And their Disney Channel roots, Angel from Andy Mac and Berelc from Mighty Med, only strengthened their friendship and comfort on set, letting the romance feel authentic rather than forced. No rom-com is complete without tension. Sean knows he's deceiving Flora. The tutoring deal is technically a lie. As their feelings grow, he struggles with a big question. Should he come clean and risk his college dreams, or continue the charade and risk hurting the girl he's falling for? Meanwhile, Flora begins to sense that Sean isn't telling the full truth. She's not naive, she's smart and emotionally perceptive. The tension builds naturally, creating a story that's engaging, relatable, and full of emotional stakes. As expected, the truth eventually comes out. Flora learns about the tutoring deal, and there's fallout. Sean must face the consequences of his actions, and Flora must decide whether their connection is genuine or tainted by the deception. Through honesty, communication, and emotional growth, they find their way back to each other. Sean learns to balance ambition with heart, and Flora embraces her full potential, not just as a student or social queen, but as a capable, intelligent, and emotionally aware young woman. The story wraps up in a satisfying, heartfelt ending, predictable in the best way, but deeply enjoyable. So here's where everything comes to a head. Sean has been keeping a secret. The entire tutoring arrangement was essentially a deal with Flora's parents. He agreed to help her academically, not purely out of friendship or attraction, but for a college recommendation to MIT. Over time, though, his feelings became real, which makes this confession complicated. Sean knows that if he comes clean, he risks both losing Flora's trust and potentially derailing his future ambitions. It's the classic rom-com dilemma, love versus ambition. Flora, for her part, begins to suspect something is off. She's clever, emotionally perceptive, and not as carefree as she appears. When she finally learns the truth, there's a moment of tension. She feels hurt and betrayed, not because Sean fell for her, but because the foundation of their relationship was built on a lie. It's a powerful emotional beat because Flora has spent the whole movie balancing her rebellious, confident exterior with her own insecurities and potential, and now she must confront Sean and herself. The resolution of the film is as satisfying as it is heartfelt. Sean admits everything to Flora honestly. He explains that while the tutoring deal brought them together, his feelings for her became genuine. This moment is crucial. It's not just about a confession, it's about Sean showing emotional growth. He learns that honesty and vulnerability matter more than carefully controlled plans. Flora, in turn, reflects on her own journey. She realizes that she's more than the popular, rebellious girl everyone sees. Sean's presence and their shared experiences helped her recognize her own intelligence, empathy, and emotional strength. Instead of lashing out, she accepts Sean's honesty, showing maturity and growth. It's a turning point for both characters. Sean learns to balance ambition with heart, and Flora embraces her full potential beyond appearances. And of course, the romantic comedy has to deliver that satisfying payoff. Sean and Flora reconnect in a sweet, tender way that feels earned because of everything they've gone through. They're not just a couple, they're two people who have helped each other grow. The final scenes often include playful, light-hearted moments that remind us of the chemistry and humor that drew them together in the first place. The ending reinforces the main themes of Kissing is the Easy Part. Honesty matters. Lies, even small ones, can complicate relationships, but courage and honesty repair them. Self-discovery. Both Sean and Flora grow individually, learning to balance responsibility, ambition, and personal fulfillment. Love isn't perfect. Real connection involves risk, vulnerability, and emotional courage. Breaking stereotypes. Sean isn't a jock. Flora isn't a shallow, popular girl. The film subverts traditional teen rom-com roles and shows multi-dimensional characters. So the movie ends on a hopeful, heartwarming note. Sean and Flora are together, stronger individually and as a couple, having navigated misunderstandings, personal growth, and the pressures of high school life. It's predictable, but in the best way, delivering the emotional and romantic satisfaction that makes this teen rom-com such a delight. At its core, Kissing is the Easy Part is about growth, self-discovery, and the messy, exciting journey of first love. It shows us that life isn't just about achievements or appearances. It's about taking risks, connecting with people, and learning who you are along the way. Perfect for teens, young adults, or anyone who loves heartfelt, playful, and charming rom-coms, this film balances laughs, romantic tension, and emotional beats seamlessly. Plus, it's a visual treat with bright cinematography, clever dialogue, and stellar performances by Angel and Berelc.